Hello, and thank you for joining us. I'm Renee.
I'm Kevin.
And we are photographers who are out to teach newer photographers business tips and tricks, lighting tricks, Photoshop tools, pretty much anything having to do with photography. We might even throw a few life hacks in there.
And if you like what you see, just you can comment, like, subscribe, even ring that bell so you can get notified when a new video is up.
And so today's episode is teaching 10 things we wish we knew when we first started out. So business tips and tricks. So let's get started.
All right, to start off, here's a 10 pieces of advice that'll help you in your photography journey. Number one, don't compare yourself to others, to anyone else. We're all coming from different places. We all have similar goals, but we all have different journeys on how to get there. So you can learn from those around you. It took us a while to get to where we're at today. We still have further we want to go, but everyone's different how they approach that. So just don't compare yourself.
So the second tip is that education might seem expensive, but it is so worth it. When I first took a course at amyandjordan.com, I had to hold my breath to pay $397, but it paid for itself in no time. Then I bought everything else that they had to offer because I saw the value and I saw quick improvement. If you can pay to learn something in a few weeks or months that took the educators years to learn, it's definitely worth it. Always invest in yourself and your business. So the 3 educators that are on the screen are the ones that we've learned the most from. They were the ones that helped us grow tremendously, but there are a variety of educators out there, anything from mini courses to business courses, to learning how to do mini sessions, learning how to do lighting. Choose what you need to grow and apply those things, and you'll be on your way in no time.
And it really just gives you so much confidence because, you travel along with these individuals, these couples, and you get to learn as they're working, doing their job, so that when you get in that position, you just have so much more confidence and trust that you have the skills and you can deliver what you promised to your customer.
A third tip that we have is to follow photographers who encourage you, the ones who cheer you on, the ones who provide value, whether that is through social media, whether that's in person, whether that's mentoring. We have photographer friends around Kentucky and Tennessee that cheer us on, we cheer them on, we inspire each other, and even ones that we talk to around the country, even around the world, that we are encouraging them at the same time that they're encouraging us. And that's what we recommend for all newer photographers, even if you've been in the business for decades. It's always good to have fellow photographers as your friends, ones who you can bounce ideas off of, ones you can show pictures to, and they'll give you advice, they'll give you honest feedback. If you want to follow us on social media, our Instagram is kevinandrenee.co and our Facebook is @kevinandrenee.
Number 4 is give your clients an amazing experience. You can deliver pictures for them, but if they have an awkward experience, if they don't have fun, well, they won't enjoy that. But then when they actually see the pictures, which are going to be great because you're going to get some kind of mentoringship or education or experience, they'll appreciate it even more because they'll draw back to the experience. They had a good time with you, and so that they'll actually enjoy the pictures a little bit more.
Yeah, don't be afraid to be silly on your sessions. The more silly you are, the more human you'll seem. They will enjoy you. They will, when they look at the pictures, they'll remember the laughs. When you look at the pictures, you'll see the laughs are actually real. And when they know they had a good time, they're going to recommend you to all their friends because they care more how they felt than they care what the pictures look like. Of course, you want amazing pictures, but if you give them an incredible experience, you will have amazing pictures.
So if you're like a backup photographer like me, that's what I usually do. Make sure you get some good dad jokes in, so that they can have some real laughs, and they actually have a little bit better time that way. So
absolutely. And if you work as a team, if you are joking with each other, that usually helps them too to relax. So don't be afraid to be silly or or anything like that in front of them, because that actually works for your benefit. So number 5 is to figure out what tools will make your life easier. They may cost money, but they're so worth it. We will have more videos later that break down each one of these tools, but for right now, here's a summary of our favorite time savers. Photo Mechanic definitely helps me cut down the amount of time that I'm choosing in selecting which photos I want to keep from each session. I spend time in Lightroom and Photoshop editing, the majority in Lightroom, and that gets the pictures the way they're supposed to look color-wise and exposure-wise. Then if anyone is blinking or there's something distracting in the background, that I take into Photoshop. The third thing that really saves me a lot of time is Caitlin James' preset process. It gives a different number of choices for each step of the process. So with just a few clicks, you're able to get the exact photo that you want, and you can make sure your work is consistent, start to finish. Our gallery delivery system is CloudSpot, and that also saves us a ton of time, and it's a crowd favorite. We're able to put entire folders into our uploads so that we just drag them in, and CloudSpot does all the rest. And then we're able to even give them a mobile app that they absolutely love. Another thing that photographers really need is a CRM, and we have used both HoneyBook and Dubsado. They're both amazing tools. We're currently switching from one to the other, but they both have so much that they can offer to photographers: questionnaires, contracts, invoices, able to collect the money for you, all of that. It saves you so much time. You can automate things so that everything is more hands-off, and it takes all of the tasks that you would have to do yourself and takes all of that work out of it for you. We also really love Canva. This is the way that we can create social media posts that look consistent with our brand. We're able to pretty much anything that we want to create, including the slide you're currently looking at, all created through Canva so that we can have a similar look through our entire brand. Another tool that I love is BlogStomp. I'm able to take either individual pictures or whole collages and put them together in a way that will be beautiful on a website but will load quickly. And then last but not least is ConvertKit. So many things are getting away from social media now because social media algorithms change every single day. And so ConvertKit is where we are able to put our lead magnets to be able to capture emails so that we can send out our own marketing so that social media doesn't take that away from us.
So the sixth way that you can improve is focusing on one thing at a time. If you try and do too much at once, it can be overwhelming and then you can be discouraged. But just try and not reach perfection. We're not trying to be perfect at one thing, but just focusing on one thing and work toward that so that you can be able to be good at that, and then you can trust that skill later on, and then you can bring in one thing at a time.
Yeah, if you focus on one thing at a time, it'll basically allow you to have muscle memory on that one thing so that when you get that down and you go to learn the other thing, you don't have to think about both things. One thing you already have down, and then you can move on. And that's how photographers are able to improve so quickly, is they don't take in all the knowledge and then on a session try to remember, okay, how do I focus? What do I do first? How do I pose them? One thing. If you can do one thing and then move on to the next thing, then you will improve so much quicker than anyone who's trying to learn it all and then apply it.
The seventh way is if people are discouraging, just unfollow them, or at least snooze them for a little bit, because you don't need that negativity. Just we get to curate kind of what information we take in, who we're following, who we're watching in their reels or different things like that. So we can choose what we want to focus on with that, and then that can affect us because we're taking all this positivity instead of someone complaining about this and that.
Number 8 can be the most difficult of all because most photographers are people pleasers. We love making people happy, and that's why we got into this business in the first place. Pictures make people happy, but we have to set boundaries. We have to remember that family comes first. And I know for the first year of our business, I didn't apply that. I put business first, and it wasn't fair to Kevin and it wasn't fair to me. So we have to remember to set boundaries. We have to give clear expectations of when they should expect the portraits back. And we also need to make sure that we're not scheduling more than we can handle.
And then if we're doing that, we're putting the family first, they're going to be understanding if we have to sacrifice a little bit of time to maybe finish a certain particular project or something like that. So
Absolutely. Number 9 is something that most people won't agree with me on, but this is just my personal experience. It is better to work for free until you build your portfolio than it is to give out discounts to everyone so that you can get more clients. You don't want to have the reputation of being a cheap photographer, and once you have enough work, then you can raise your prices to where you are showing your worth and your ideal clients will be willing to pay. And that way, people won't look at you and think, well, why are your prices this? Because they were just this a couple months ago. Whereas this goes into number 10. If you do things as a favor to someone, they don't know what your prices were going to be. It's just a favor you're doing for them. So number 10 is don't put model calls out on social media. Go to the people you want as your client and make sure they wear what you want them to wear and they line up with what your ideal client is. Then if you give them an amazing experience like we talked about before, they will share with all of their friends. Their friends will all think they paid full price. When they go to pay, they'll pay the price that you're asking because their friend recommended them. And your clients that you were giving free photos to at the beginning will love the experience so much they will be willing to pay full price. So these are tips of things that have helped us to grow to where we are today. We hope that these tips help you, and we really hope that your business grows and scales in 2023.
take care, guys.